I do believe she was telling the truth for the first time perhaps ever, because she said, I think her exact quote was, the best idea we have for economic growth. I do think that is the best idea the Democrats have. The problem is their best ideas are failed ideas, paying people to not work instead of creating an environment where employers can hire people to work. I do think Nancy Pelosi's telling the truth. That is the best idea they got. Hang on just a second. Alan West with us. He's running for Congress in the 22nd District in Florida. Alan, what's the website if folks want to get involved in the campaign?
It is www.gowest2010.com.
GoWest2010.com. Hang on just a second. We're going to talk more with Alan West about national security. He is a former Lieutenant Colonel of the U.S. Army. We'll talk a little bit about national security issues with Alan West when we come back in just a moment. Show some school districts in the country are considering banning the American flag in schools because Hispanics find the American flag offensive. Yeah, they find the stars and stripes offensive. So some schools are actually considering banning the American flag in U.S. schools. Fox News has a poll that is available. He's a retired colonel in the U.S. Army, running for the 22nd District in Florida for the U.S. Congress, a great American. And Alan, we were talking a little bit about the identity politics of the Jewish vote, the black vote in America. You know, if I criticize the policies of Barack Obama, I get called a racist. It's a little harder to do that to you, and yet they do anyway.
Well, I think that, that's that fallback that the liberal left is used to doing. But, it's losing its steam, because right now this is about holding this administration responsible and accountable. It's not about race. It's about character. It's about the policies. And, it's very interesting, the story you were talking about with the American flag in the schools. We have a cultural thing that's happening in the United States of America where, we've got to reestablish a sense of individual responsibility and accountability, and also our traditional values. And we can't continue to appease all of these different special interest groups or whatever type of groups that think that they're going to make us less American or less proud of who we are. And the next thing you know, we're not a constitutional republic. And it's playing out greatly when you see in Arizona where, we're trying to stand up for the rule of law and its establishment, and people are trying to say that's profiling, that's racist, that's this. No, it's just about doing what is right. And if the federal government does not want to do it, then the sovereign states of the state of this union have to do it.
You've served our nation in uniform in combat. What is your take on this move that we've seen in Afghanistan of giving medals for restraint?
Courageous
don't
restraint.
Shoot back. Frankly, I think we should be giving Blumenthal up in Connecticut a medal because he was so restrained. He didn't even go to Vietnam. He should be given like the Medal of Honor of courageous restraint, perhaps.
Well, Mr. Blumenthal obviously vicariously went to Vietnam or has had some out-of-body experience. But, Steve, once again, it comes back to understanding what war is about and what fighting is about. It's about understanding who your enemy is and taking the fight to them and the initiative. And when we are talking about rewarding our soldiers for holding back their fire, look at what just happened. We got the report today of 5 U.S. soldiers being killed in Afghanistan. We are not, in combining it with the rules of engagement, we are not setting our soldiers up and Marines on the ground and Navy and Airmen for success. They don't have the initiative. When you have to announce that you're going into a village before you execute an operation, that takes away one of the key elements of military operation. That's surprise. When you cannot fire upon the enemy until you are fired upon, when the enemy can fire at you and then drop their weapons and walk away, and you can't do anything to them when you know that those folks will lay down a base of fire against you, something is wrong. And I don't care who we change out at the level of the commanding general in Afghanistan. If you don't get back to having rules of engagement that allow our soldiers to take the fight to the enemy, we're going to continue to see our soldiers being killed. And this is not about going over there and protecting the Afghan people. This is about denying this terrorist enemy, this Islamic terrorist enemy, a sanctuary.
When you hear General Petraeus' words as he's taking over command now, do you have a sense that some of those policies are going to change under this new commander, or is it just kind of general speak?
Well, he came out and said before he flew over that he would not change the rules of engagement. So if that's his perspective, I would hope that now he's on the ground and he gets an opportunity to go around and see those soldiers and Marines and look at them in the eye, that he will change that stance. But we'll see what happens, because all good commanders take 30 days to make an assessment, and then they come back with their way ahead. So we'll see what happens after his 30-day assessment. But in the meantime, we've got, our men and women that are losing their lives, and I think something definitely has to be done about that.
GoWest2010.com on the web if you want to help Alan West. He's running for Congress in the 22nd District in Florida. Is a great American, and that gets thrown around a lot, but it certainly applies truly with Alan West. One piece of good news, by the way, is the nation was celebrating the holiday weekend during the 4th of July. Word has come from the Pentagon that for the first time since the start of wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, a living serviceman could receive the Medal of Honor for a firefight that occurred in the Eastern Afghanistan region against the Taliban. Hopefully this will happen, and we need some heroes out of this war. There are a lot of people that are doing heroic things in Iraq and Afghanistan. We just haven't paid much attention to them. Colonel Alan West, good to have you with us. We'll talk with you again soon, my friend. Keep up the great work.